gentlemen, you're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
It's a beautiful evening in Tampa, Florida. The lights will be on, and it is time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. And tonight, it's the New York Yankees against the Philadelphia Phillies in an exhibition game from George M. Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, Florida. Welcome to Yankee Spring Training, presented by Ford. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with John Sterling. I'm Michael Kay. Well, the reunion tour continues. The first concert went so well, they booked us for another one, and we have a good pitching matchup for tonight's game. You've got Aaron Nola, who's going to go for the Phillies. He's going to be their opening day starter. And for the Yankees, it's Jameson Taillon. And, John, if you take a look at the 6 guys that the Yankees are considering for the 5 spots in the rotation, including Taillon, they've all done unbelievably well this spring.
Well, better than anyone really could have thought, Michael. If Kluber is this healthy and Taillon is this healthy, Domingo Germán has looked phenomenal. The Yankees will have a very good starting pitching staff. You know the bullpen is good, and you know the everyday lineup is good. It could be a heck of a year.
Aiming for April 1st, keep everybody healthy. That's the most important thing. So we're looking forward to this matchup. We're looking forward to reminiscing as well when we come back. Lineups, first pitch, baseball, Yankees, Phillies, next, right here on Yes. The Yankees Spring Training on Yes is brought to you by your local Ford stores. Ford is proud to be the official SUV of the New York Yankees. For current offers, visit buyfordnow.com. We are inching closer to opening day, which will be April 1st at Yankee Stadium. Yankees against the Blue Jays, but tonight it's the Yankees against the Phillies at George M. Steinbrenner Field. Yankees so far this spring, they are 13-16-1. The Phillies are 9-10-1, and here's their starting lineup tonight. Andrew McCutchen in left field will lead off. Rhys Hoskins at first base is going to bat second. Hitting third, former Yankee shortstop Didi Gregorius. Alec Bohm, the third baseman, will clean up. Batting fifth, playing right field, Odubel Herrera. In the number 6 spot, it's center fielder Roman Quinn. Matt Joyce, the DH, will bat seventh. Batting eighth and catching, Jeff Mathis. And the former Yankee, the star of the Tonight Show, Ronald Torreyes, is at second base, and he is going to bat ninth. Well, the Yankees have taken the field. Jameson Taillon is on the mound. This is what he did the last time he was on a big league mound in 2019 with the Pirates. 7 starts, 2-3, 4.10 ERA, 34 hits in 37 1/3, just 8 walks, 30 strikeouts, and opponents at .231 against him. He missed last season, recovering from Tommy John surgery. So let's take a look at the scouting report on the Yankee right-hander. He's had a very nice start for the Yankees. 5 2/3 scoreless innings in 3 Grapefruit League starts. His velocity is returning. His last start, he got up to about 95 miles an hour. Just spring training, but this guy can pitch. If he stays healthy, the Yankees expect big things out of him. He expects big things out of himself. Remember, he was the 2nd pick in the draft at one point. He's got the skills. He's just been derailed quite a bit by injury. Take a look at the defense behind him. Frazier's in left, Hicks in center, and Judge is over and right. The infield, Urshela, Torres, LeMahieu, and Bruce gets the start at first base. Sanchez behind the plate, and Jameson Taillon is on the mound. So Andrew McCutchen digs in. He's ready. Taillon is ready. It's time for baseball. We throw it over to John Sterling for the play-by-play. John?
And the first pitch taken for a strike. That pitch had a lot of movement on it. You know, Michael, I know, you don't believe in spring training. You're taught not to believe it. But the point we're making about these starting pitchers, McCutchen takes a fastball high, 1-1. McCutchen 9 for 29 with a homer and 2 RBIs. On the spring, Yanks have had a great spring. It means nothing. And the Phillies are playing about 500. count 1-2. Michael, I think the biggest thing for the Yanks is that Tyone and Kluber have been injury-free, and they're throwing the ball very well. You know they can pitch. Now the question is, will they be healthy? 1-2 slider cut out and missed. Good pitch, and he struck him out. Hey, I thought of this today. Do you know what I did first thing in the morning, Michael?
Tell me.
I had coffee, which is the normal thing, but I had coffee in my Michael K. Center Stage coffee cup.
Nice. You look great on center stage.
A big moment. Now here is Rhys Hoskins, the first baseman. He's 3 for 22, a homer, 2 RBIs. Taillon is
John, the biggest thing, obviously, in spring training is health. And the Yankees have had one setback, and that's Zach Britton, who's going to miss the first couple of months of the season. But for the most part, they knock on wood because everybody has gotten through the spring so far in relative good health.
Popped up behind the plate and over the screen. Well, I think everyone was wondering about Taillon and Kluber. Also, Domingo Germán coming back after being suspended for a year, and he has been untouchable. In other words, he doesn't really have to fight for the playoff, for the spot in the rotation. He keeps getting everyone out, and he really can't miss. Here's the 1-1 to Hoskins. Right-hand hitter with power. And a check swing foul. 1-2. You know, the odd thing is, there's Didi on deck. And Taillon will deal 1-2. The slider is outside. Michael, what I was going to say is that the odd thing is that the Yankee hitters, big-time hitters, really haven't hit much, and the pitching has been the best in baseball in the spring. But like I always do, I warn you not to accept things that happen in the spring. Hoskins fouls it off.
Well, it's the old saying that the pitchers are usually ahead of the hitters, and then the hitters have to catch up just a bit. So they're building up the pitch counts. Yesterday, Garrett Cole's up to about 90, so he's in good shape for opening day as one more start. They're in good shape so far. They have to feel good about the pitching, and the hitting, you know, is going to come. Look at the back of their baseball card.
The count goes full 3-2. Well, we'll give the numbers when they come up, but you know, right now, the idea is to get your rhythm, get your swing, and most of all for the Yankees, stay healthy. That ball is hammered down the left field line. There's a base hit. Frazier cuts it off. It's a double for Hoskins.
You know, Hoskins also coming back from Tommy John surgery. But, you know, as a first baseman, he doesn't have to throw 100 pitches a game, and that's why pitchers miss about 18 months. And he had Tommy John surgery in October, and he's ready to roll.
Like Hoskins, Didi 3 for 22 on the spring with a homer and 5 RBIs. You add, it's a very good top of the lineup. McCutchen gets on base. Hoskins, Didi, Alex Bohm, and don't forget Bryce Harper. So the Phillies going to have a pretty good hitting team. And also they play in a great hitter's ballpark. I didn't get the umpires. I don't know if it's important, but
It's important to their family, John. I have them. Ramon De Jesus is the home plate ump. The crew chief, Joe West, Jerry Lane, and Mark Wegner.
All right. Thank you, sir. The 1-1. Foul back. Ten more days. You know that? 10 more days and the season begins. It was 67 degrees in New York today. Can you imagine? If only we could have that for opening day.
Well, John, I just remember 96 with the snow, so I don't want to bank on the 67 for opening day.
No, it's 10 days from now. It's too good. There's a high pop. And it's going to be caught by Aaron Judge. 2-0. You know, I'd forgotten about that. 96, our favorite year. Going in, you had no idea what the Yankees were going to do. They had a new manager in Joe Torre. And then Andy Pettit pitched through the snow, right? It was Pettit.
Yep.
As I recall.
And it was not flurries. It was a driving snowstorm.
No, that's true. Here's Alex Bohm, the young star third baseman for Philly.
Take a look at this, John. Bring back good memories. That's snow.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, I remember that. That's Derek Jeter in his first home game. You know, I have a story about that. We ought to maybe do some stories on that. The Yankees won the opener in Cleveland, and Jeter, in his first game, hit a home run and made a tremendous catch to thwart a Cleveland rally. And after the game, you know, Michael goes downstairs because he was working for MSG doing the locker room. Here's the 0-2. I'm never going to get the story. Pitch. And it's inside. All radio stuff. I should shut my mouth. Anyway, I do the post game, and it lasted, you know, a long time. And I go downstairs to the Yankee clubhouse. And David Cohn, hey, John. Now, here's the 1-2 coming to Bohm. There's Hoskins leading off second. And the pitch is fouled back. Thank you, Alex. So anyway, I went over to David Cohn, and he showed me his fingers. Look at this. It's so cold. It was freezing. It was frigid. What do you expect, Cleveland, in the beginning of April? And his fingers were blue, especially his middle finger and index finger. And we thought it was just because of the cold. Obviously, it was the forerunner or harbinger of the operation that he was going to have. Had to have. Good high fastball struck him out swinging. So no runs on a hit. Jeter making the catch.
Whatever happened to him, John? Another scoreless inning for Jameson Taillon. Now, Aaron Nola takes him out. Take a look at this Yankee lineup. This is your opening day lineup, except for Jay Bruce at first base. Otherwise, LeMahieu leads off, Aaron Judge in right, Aaron Hicks in center, Giancarlo Stanton, the DH. Gleyber Torres at short, Jay Bruce trying to make the team. We'll talk about that in depth. He's at first base, batting seventh. Batting eighth, playing third base, Gio Urshela. Gary Sanchez will catch, he'll bat eighth. And batting ninth, and having a good spring, left fielder, Clint Frazier. And they'll face that man, Aaron Nola, who found out today he is going to start opening day for the Phillies, and that will be his fourth straight start opening day-wise for the Phillies. That's what he did in the 2020 season. 96 strikeouts, 71 on the third innings. Let's take a look at the scouting report. He's the ace of the staff. Joe Girardi said you don't have to be a rocket scientist to choose him for the opener. He mixes his pitches well. He has 4 pitches. He throws them all about the same. And this was an easy call for Joe Girardi. Pitching is not their strong suit, but Aaron Nola is an absolute ace at the top of the order, and they expect him to give them about 32 starts, John.
Oh, I'm sure they need him to be the big number one, like the Yankees need from Garrett Cole. LeMahieu leads off. DJ 9 for 31 in the spring, a homer and 3 RBIs. You know, the spring training is to get the veterans in shape. Now, the young kids try to make the team. They want to impress. And the veterans are just going about their business. Now, Aaron Nola is a star. Not this spring. He's 0-2 and an ERA of 10.38. Obviously, it means nothing because Girardi is going to start him in the opener, and he should. We'll talk about Bruce when he comes up. Pitch high, 1-2. Michael, is his opt-out date the 25th?
25th, yes. So the Yankees either have to tell him he's made the team or not. Yeah.
Right. And if he doesn't make the team, you figure someone else will pick him up. There's a breaking ball in the dirt.
Take a look at that, John. Jay Bruce has my hairline.
Well, big sluggers, of course. The 2-2 is that ball was out of the strike zone, but it was tipped by LeMahieu. So there's a strikeout, 1 away.
Let me tell you about the Phillies defense. McCutcheon's in left. Quinn is in center. Herrera in right. Quinn and Herrera are still battling for that center field job opening day. Bohm, Gregorius, Torreyes, and Hoskins third to first. Jeff Mathis, an outstanding defensive catcher. He's going to be the backup behind Real Muto. And Nola is on the mound.
Normally, the second baseman would be Segura. There's Aaron Judge. And there's our old buddy Didi. You know, it's very tough. We don't have any interaction with the manager, the players. You can't go in the clubhouse. You can't go on the field, etc. But I'd love to find out, does Torreyes have a chance to make this team? Obviously, we're rooting for him.
I know Girardi
Aaron
likes him.
Hicks. Yeah, I know Girardi likes him. He got a chance. It's a breaking ball strike. I don't know, Michael. It seemed that all the time that Torreyes played for the Yankees, when he started, he always did something good, including get base hits.
Well, what plays against him, John, he's not on the 40. So if they kept him, obviously somebody would have to move off the 40. So that's always a difficult spot to come in. Jay Bruce is fighting that. He's not on the 40. He's a non-roster invitee. And then the numbers get in your way. Do you want to lose a player on your 40-man roster to make room?
A fastball right. Do you see the movement on that fastball? Oh, that's terrific. Well, we have played 1 inning tonight. Phillies and the Yankees are scoreless, end of 1.
Burn, baby, burn! A thriller by Godzilla. It's an A-bomb from A-Rod. All rise. Here comes the judge.
So some of John's great calls. Now, we've been running a tournament, John, online. I'll explain what online is to you later, but people have been voting, and we have a Final Four. We have Burn Baby Burn against It's a Thriller by Godzilla, and then Here Comes the Judge against an A-bomb from A-Rod. And then we'll have a final championship, and we'll see who wins. As Herrera.
Nice play by the starting pitcher, Tyone. So you're doing your own You're doing your own NCAA tournament on my silly calls, right?
Yeah, it's Sterling Madness. So what's your favorite call, though? That's the most important thing. I know your first one ever was Burn Baby Burn. I was in the booth when you did that. You have to have a favorite.
Well, I like Robbie Cano.
Don't you know?
Don't you know? And he liked it so much, he put it on his uniform in the Players' Weekend when they could put anything on the back. Here is Ramon Quinn, the center fielder, hopeful. He and, as Michael said, he and Herrera battling out. Bryce Harper, obviously, is going to play right field. You know, it's tough. You know, people ask me that. What's your favorite? You know, the one that works, the one that I think I've gotten more requests for is Alex A-Bomb from A-Rod. You know, when you do them, it's kind of fun, and you hope the audience thinks it's fun. When you talk about it, they seem kind of silly. But I'm awfully glad I started it. As we like to say in internet circles, has it gotten a lot of hits?
So many hits, John.
Oh, okay.
People are voting early and often. It's like Chicago.
I hope no one steals the election. Now here's the 1-2 to Quinn. Quinn, a switch hitter, singles hitter.
You know what, guys? I looked at that list. John, I'm partial to Burn Baby Burn. I like that one.
I like that. He did too, by the way. So.
And how many times did you vote for it online? That's what I want to know. I know you are a big internet connoisseur, John.
Right. I haven't really gotten online yet, so one day maybe. I'll tell you a cute story about Burn Baby Burn. Here's the 1-2. It's inside. We had a bunch of kids in a row, and I was getting one of the children's car seats fixed. And this guy's fixing the car, or fixing the seat in the car. As Tyone deals 2-2. Oh, strike three. Great pitch right at the knees. Inside corner at the knees, tough pitch. Anyway, I'm standing there, and I called home, and we had a nanny named Bernadette, and the kids and Jennifer all called her Det. She became part of the family. A lovely, wonderful woman. But I called her Burn Baby Burn. Now, she came from the island. She had no idea what baseball is. I mean, zero. But I called her Burn Baby Burn. This is Matt Joyce playing the DH. Good lefty hitter. And so near the end, when the guy kind of yelled out to me, just a couple of minutes, I called home. You know, what do I need to bring? Yada, 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 yada. And I said to her, okay, Burn Baby Burn, tell Jennifer I'll be home in about 15 minutes. Well, the guy came out of the car. Burn Baby Burn. And I told Bernie that story. He loved it. I told Bernie and his wife that story. 1-1 on Joyce. Well, he keeps on nailing that inside corner. That's some pitch.
You know about the story that, what about that story that doesn't surprise me, John? That you did not install the child seat yourself. That's the John Sterling I know and love.
The kid wouldn't be able to go in the car if I was installing it. Right, three. Tyone has now struck out 4 of the 6 outs. And we're scoreless.
Well, Well, the Yes app is here, and it's your new official home for streaming the Yankees on Yes. To download now, just take out your phone and scan the QR code on the screen. Get inside the action like never before with personalized content and a state-of-the-art streaming experience. Download the Yes app now wherever you get your apps. And it's a tremendous app. It's everything that you would want. You have to be authenticated. The Yes Network viewers live stream at the Yes Network. They did some job. Congratulations. Go get it.
There's a breaking ball strike to Stanton as we begin the bottom of the second inning. We are scoreless. Stanton 7 for 21 on the spring, a homer, 5 RBIs. You know, the most important thing for the Yanks, and I'm sure all Yankee fans watching this game obviously realize it, is for the team to stay healthy. And, you know, so outside of Britain, so far so good. There's a strike to Stanton. Well, you've been talking about these home run calls I've made. Michael, you had big calls when you were with me. Which was your favorite? The Girardi triple that gave the Yankees the lead, and we thought the stadium was going to come down. And breaking balls in the dirt. Or the Knobloch home run, or the Tino grand slam. That was a great 7th inning in Game 1 against San Diego.
I guess it would have to be the Tino grand slam, but John, you were sitting there with me, and I had the worst case of laryngitis, and you know the stadium was literally shaking, and I felt pain when I made the call. But you know, we were so lucky the 10 years we worked together, John. So many great moments. I mean, Mr. November I was lucky enough to have, and you know, the Chad Curtis walk-off home run in the World Series as well. So, I mean, we were both lucky that, you know, we could piggyback on these great moments and be just a small part of the memory. I never, ever forget how fortunate we are to broadcast at that time.
Well, it certainly is true. And well, let's face it, when you give the good news, you're a much better broadcaster. The 2-2 is chopped right up the middle for a base hit.
All right, so let's go back in time. Game 1, 7th inning. Yankees Padres, and here's Tino Martinez at the base of load. And the 3-2. Swung on a drill deep to right. There it goes. That ball is gone. A grand slam into the upper deck for Tino Martinez. And the Yankees lead 9-5. John, you ought to be thinking for a moment that you were sitting next to Bobby Brady or Peter Brady, whichever one whose voice cracked on the Brady Bunch.
Well, that was some 7th inning. Knobloch hit a 3-run home run, and Tino hit a grand slam, and the Yankees were down 5-2 and came out of the inning leading 9-5. Now, Michael, you know this. Maybe the fans don't. Mark Langston, a former great starting pitcher near the end of his career, came in relief. And on the 2-2 pitch to Tino, Tino took it for ball 3. Very close. Then the next pitch, he hit a grand slam. That time, Langston had to throw a strike. Do you know that a couple of years ago, Mark is doing color on the Angels radio broadcast with Terry Smith, and he came over to the little window separating our booths and said, "John, the 2-2 pitch, was that not a strike?" Well, first of all, I said, well, it's about 20 years ago. But it was very, very close, and to this day, Mark Langston thought he had struck out Tino.
If you ask Tino, John, the same question, he'll go, well, it was close, but it was a ball. It's almost like the Jackie Robinson stealing home plate with Yogi. Yogi, 40 years later, would say he was out.
Right. That's a very good call. That's exactly what it was. You know, together, the Yankees. Oh, here's Tino. We're going to show that pitch? Huh.
That's the pitch.
Oh.
Rich Garcia thought it was low. That was high and far and gone.
You know, I had heard that Richie Garcia made the call because whoever was catching for the Padres, actually I forget who, but he moved his glove. That was the rationale I heard. Gleyber Torres strikes out.
Carlos Hernandez was the catcher, and if you remember, another great moment in Yankee postseason history during our fortunate 10 years, Richie Garcia was the right field umpire on the Jeffrey Mayer home run off the bat of Jeter.
He certainly was. And you could see the ball was not going to be a home run, but good old Jeffrey Mayer reached over the fence. As an added line to that story, here's Jay Bruce. Now, Bruce having a good spring, 6 for 26, 2 homers, 3 RBIs. And as we said before, the Yankees have to decide whether they're going to keep him and add him to the 40-man roster. What are your thoughts, Michael?
I think it comes down to Bruce and Tauchman. The Yankees really love Tauchman. He's out of options, so the one that doesn't make the team is probably going to be picked up by somebody else. And the one thing that Tauchman has in his favor, John, he can play center field.
Oh, no question. You know why there's such a problem is because these teams carry so many pitchers. And this year, the teams are allowed to have 26 players. And the Yankees have already announced 13 of them are going to be pitchers. So that leaves only 4 guys on the bench. You know, you start 9, including the DH.
And in case he makes it, John, I mean, I could be his stand-in. As you can see, very, very similar. I'm his doppelganger, just 30 years older.
Right. 2 big sluggers, both with a widow's peak.
Shh, Jody doesn't want to hear that.
But when you have 4 guys on the bench, you have to have a catcher, you have to have a mid-infielder, and Gardner. There's 3 of them, so that's the battle between Bruce and Tauchman, but they lose Tauchman, so kind of a question overhanging the Yankees in the next 10 days before the start of the year. But with Bruce, they've got to let him know in 3 days.
And Aaron Boone was asked whether or not it's a consideration the fact that Tauchman can play all 3 outfield positions, and ideally he'd like all the outfielders to stay healthy, but he said without a doubt that is going to be part of the conversation. And then when it comes to the infield guys, as he goes down swinging, you know, you wonder who they are going to keep in the infield. Gio Urshela the other day played shortstop. They wanted to see if that was a possibility. The idea that he could potentially slide over there if Gleyber Torres needs a day off could change things as far as that bench spot for an infielder. So still some decisions to be made, but not many of them when it comes to this roster.
Well, one thing, though, we know Urshela can play short. He actually played it in Cleveland a bit. And anyway, when you see him play, you know he could play short. He could play second, too. But you have to have a reserve infielder. I've never heard of a major league team not having a reserve infielder. So you say Urshela could move over to short. He could. Then who's going to play third? So that's why I don't know if it's going to be Tyler Wade or who, but you have to. Do you agree with me? You have to have a backup infielder.
If somehow Wade is sent down because he has options left, it could be Derek Dietrich, who can't play short, though, but he plays a lot of other positions.
And John,
so they've got options.
Sorry, Michael. And John, you brought up third base. DJ LeMahieu, also an option at third base, an option at first base. We know his everyday position is second base, and a couple guys that will not be on that opening day roster because they were optioned already, Mike Ford and Thairo Estrada.
Yeah, it's a very thorny question. But the real... Urshela lays off the breaking ball. Now, the real thing is that these teams carry so many pitchers. I think you'll see this year that teams will have 3 guys on the bench and they'll carry 14 pitchers. Urshela is 5 for 23 in the spring with a homer and 2 RBIs.
We're going to see Chapman and Green a little bit later on after Tyone's day is done. So they're in the bullpen.
Gio drives one to center, and the catch is made by Quinn. And we have finished 2 innings. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. There you see the score at the end of 2.
Spring training on Yes is brought to you in part by Hyundai. The Hyundai Spring Upgrade event is going on now. Hurry in and get the upgrade you deserve. By Poland Spring Origin, 100% natural spring water. By Cadillac. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer and experience the ultimate in iconic luxury. And by FanDuel Sportsbook. There's more ways to win on FanDuel.
Here's Jeff Mathis. And fouls off the first pitch. Mathis, although he has had during the years some good games against the Yankees, not a great hitter, but as Michael pointed out, a very good defensive catcher.
John, you want numbers? Unbelievable.
Excuse me?
Unbelievable numbers on Mathis. He's played 16 years in the big leagues. You know what his lifetime average is? 194. Half glove will travel.
He's on the interstate. Behind 1 and 2.
And they say he's a manager in waiting. And Joe Girardi said, I know you want to be a manager one day, so pick my brain whenever you get a chance. I'll help you out, lead you the way.
One-two fastball foul back. Well, you know, so many managers are ex-catchers. And there's one of them.
John, when you were doing your talk show in New York, did you get to know Ralph Houck?
Yes.
What kind of guy?
I got to be very friendly with him. I thought he was a really good guy. And a very good manager for a season. So I had this talk show, and since the Yankees were not a very good team then, there's the 5th strikeout for Tyone, who really looked sharp. Anyway, so I was defending Ralph Houck a lot, and I was invited to the to the Old Timers Day dinner, which was at the Friars, I think. And I was ready to walk in, and this very lovely blonde-haired woman stopped me. Well, here's our buddy, Ronnie Torres, Toe. And the gal was Betty Houck, and she came over and said, "I want to thank you for defending my husband." So yeah, I got along fine with him.
They called him the Major.
Well, he was a major in the Battlefield Commission, and he rose up to major, and he had a helmet which had a bullet mark on it. And if he didn't want for that helmet, Ralph Houck would have died in World War II.
And for those that don't know, he's the guy who took over the managerial position after Casey Stengel was let go following the 1960 World Series, and Houck promptly won 2 World Series. And then he became the GM, and Yogi became the manager in 1964. And then Ralph came back in the dugout when the Yankees were kind of in the bad years under CBS. 11 seasons as Yankee manager, 2 championships.
One thing he did, you know, Casey Stengel used Whitey Ford to start series against big teams. And Houck said, no, you're going to pitch every 4th day. There's a base hit for Torres. And Whitey Ford then went out in 1961 and won 25 games.
He didn't play much, John, because he was backing up this guy named Yogi Berra, so didn't get a chance to play that much as the backup.
Well, in those days, they didn't carry that many pitchers. They had a lot of bench. And, you know, there were years when the Yankees had both Charlie Silvera and Ralph Houck behind Yogi. And, of course, Yogi played every day, which is a little different from nowadays. A lot different. This is McCutchen. You know, you mentioned the Richie Garcia in right field and the Jeffrey Mayer home run. There's a really good line came out of that. And Mayer was regarded as a hero. He was on all the morning talk shows the next day. And Bobby Bonilla, who was playing with the Orioles then and was from the Bronx, he said, look at it this way. If the home run was hit by a Yankee, interfered with by Mayer, he said they'd have the kid hanging off the Throgs Neck Bridge. Tyone beats McCutchen 2-away, and on to second base goes Ronnie Torres.
You know what's really sobering, John? Jeffrey Mayer is right now in his 30s.
Well, it was 96. And let's see, 96 is 20. It's about 25 years ago. Yeah, you're right. In fact, Jeffrey Mayer would be about 38.
All right.
This is Rhys Hoskins, the first baseman.
Look at you, John, when you did the radio show. My God.
Doesn't look like it was too many years ago.
The shirt's
nice shirt, by the way. That was in the 70s when wild colors were in. That's the only way I can explain that. You know, Michael, I've never seen that picture before. How do they get these things?
Mysterious ways, John. Mysterious ways. You have the look on your face like you know something's happening. You got the secret right there.
Well, you know what they always say. I haven't changed a bit.
Not a bit.
Not a bit.
Also, a little bit of a warning, John, when we go to break. We're going to hear the theme to your talk show. We've dug that up, too.
I don't know how. I brought in the music, and I wrote it. And then I had two of the newscasters read it. Ooh. So 2-2 on Hoskins. It's a scoreless game, as you see, here in the top of the third. Ronnie Torres at second, holding the game's first run. There's Ronnie. Late on the fastball, fouling it away.
I mean, could the Yankees absolutely ask for anything more from Tyone this spring? Made a trade end of January with the Pirates, sent 4 prospects to Pittsburgh and gambled that this guy would be healthy. He's had a lot of health issues throughout his life, but he looks great. He really looks great. Well,
I think the Yankees did pretty good scouting on their own team or scouting other players, taking a chance with Tyone and also taking a chance with Corey Kluber. And Kluber has been very good this spring, and this guy has won 2 Cy Youngs. Imagine if he's healthy. The breaking ball is grounded to right field for a base hit. Judge throws home to get his buddy, but Torreyes scores, and the Phillies take a 1-0 lead.
Well, that was a shift hit. The Yankees had him played to pull. There was nobody there. Hoskins took the breaking ball, which hung on the outside corner, just took it the other way, right through the vacated hole, and picks up an RBI.
And you saw him hold the hands back and swing inside out. Boy, I wish that more ball players would do that. I mean, who knows how this game will go. I mean, if it was a real game, not an exhibition game. And there's a base hit to give you the lead. And that can be done a lot. Didi lines a base hit to right.
John, I just got a text from our good friend Paul O'Neill. And he said, I'm listening to you two do the game. I feel like I should be coming to the plate to hit.
Now, that was one of the great moves by Gene Michael. When he got the job, he came on the air, and he said, we have to get more left-handed. And the first big deal he made was for Paul O'Neill. Here is Alec Bohm. Now, this year, Michael, is Paul O'Neill going to get out of his basement?
The plan is to keep him down there for a while, but he will be doing a lot of games. Studio 21, we call it, John. Studio 21. We have a special Studio 21 banner made for him, John.
Well, I obviously couldn't hear you, but I could see him on my monitor last year, broadcasting from his basement.
He loved the commute, John.
Yes, I bet he did. You know, I've heard that story from a lot of people. There's one good thing that came out of this horrible year. A lot of people thought, gee, yeah, it's really great to go to work. Just go downstairs.
Imagine how many more innings Phil Rizzuto would have done that he didn't have to get on the bridge early.
Phil Rizzuto had a buddy. His name was Labe Friedman. And he would drive the scooter to the stadium, and he would fill out his scorecard, and he would run, and he still needed a Coke or something. And the former Yankee PR director, Marty Appel, said everyone should have a buddy like Labe.
I heard a story once, John. I'm sure you've heard this. He was doing a spring training game with Bill White, and in the 6th inning in the old Fort Lauderdale Stadium, he said to Bill, he said, want a coffee? Yeah. So he goes, never comes back the next day. Here's the coffee. He left in the 6th inning.
And there's no bridge to go over there. LeMahieu off balance, and he is safe. So that loads him up. Nice pick by Bruce, gets by him, a run scores.
You know, it was hit in such a place, John, that they were both converging for it, Torres and LeMahieu, and he couldn't get the force at second. That was probably his best chance. Bohm runs pretty well. And that's going to be the last pitch for Tyone, who pitched very, very well. And he threw 60 pitches. So the Yankees will go to the bullpen. Bases are left loaded, and the Phillies have a 1-0 lead.
Well, you see Chad Green has come on with the bases loaded and 2 men out. The Phillies have scored a run. They have a 1-0 lead. So if this was a real game, this would be a very big moment. We'll see if Green can get out of the inning. Odubel Herrera is the hitter. As you can see, a left-hand hitter with the bases loaded and 2 out. Green is a very underrated relief pitcher. When he's on, when he's in rhythm, he's as tough as anyone. A few years ago, the Yankees had there's a strike. The Yankees had Dylan Betances and Aroldis Chapman and the tall lefty Andrew Miller. And at one point, C.C. Sabathia said, you know, the best relief pitcher is Chad Green. And ahead 1-2, he has a high-octane fastball. Now here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, grounded foul.
So that's the first run that Taillon has allowed. Obviously, the base runners are his responsibility. So he had a 0 ERA. It's about 1.17, I think, now. But just building up pitch count, that's important. Getting him close to 100 pitches. So he probably has maybe 2 more starts. And that would get him up to about 90.
Now the breaking ball missed. 2-2. You know, it's not the worst thing if Davy Garcia is the 6th man left out. Fastball's popped up. And Gleyber Torres catches, and Green does his job.
Who's good with a bat
1 run, 4 hits, and 3 left.
Similar junk he must keep in a trunk for the John Sterling show.
Well, David Cohn previews the MLB season on the latest Curtain Call podcast. Check out this 5-star rated podcast wherever you get your podcast. And the director and the star of that show is our very own John J. Filippelli.
The flipperoo. Gary Sanchez is the hitter. And he's 6 for 31. 3 homers on the spring. Well, the average of last year, it doesn't seem possible, does it?
No. John, I think he got caught up in the vortex of the 60-game season, so he got off to a slow start. And you remember Joe Torre used to always say this. At some point in the season, you have to go, I can't improve the numbers. I just have to take and do the best I can. But Gary kept trying to improve the numbers and fell into a spiral. And the ending wasn't good.
No, I think that's as good a reason as any. He certainly did chase a lot of pitches. And first of all, the 60-game season, when you feel this way, you ought to throw out all those numbers, because there were many great hitters who had terrible years, really terrible years. Sanchez strikes out.
It's funny, John, those that had great years, people go, wow, they had a great year. It's whatever narrative that you want to embrace. So if you have a bad year, you say, well, it's because of the 60 games. But if you had a great year like DJ LeMahieu, well, he's just a great hitter. So again, you fit the narrative with what you want.
I think you make a good point. I really do. It's just that guys like Bellinger and Yelich, obviously Sanchez, but he's not that kind of a hitter. But Bellinger and Yelich, there are others I just can't think of. Frankie Lindor, who just didn't have good years. I just think that you think it's because of that odd season. Clint Frazier takes a breaking ball strike. Clint is 9 for 28. 2 homers and 6 RBIs. Big year for him. He's finally going to be a regular. And if you play every day and you have the ability he has, you could put up some numbers, which obviously he wants to do. He strikes out on a breaking ball. Nola, forget about what I said in the spring. He's had a heck of a game. That is 5 strikeouts for Nola.
John, his last start was Tuesday against the Blue Jays. Knocked out in the 3rd inning, gave up 6 runs. But when you're Aaron Nola, you're working on specific things, and the results are secondary, but he looks very sharp tonight.
Sure does. And if the Phillies are going to contend in that very tough National League East, obviously Nola has to have a big year. And you know, Michael, why LeMahieu had such a great year last year? Because he's a really good hitter. One nothing Philadelphia. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. Terrific breaking ball. 1-2.
Well, he's been living on that outside corner.
Down the right field line and foul into the Yankee bullpen. Now here's the 2-2 to DJ. And that breaking ball hit you short. Didi, and the end of the inning. Nola has had a great 3 innings. For the Yanks, 3 up and 3 down, and the 3, 1-0 Philadelphia. Well, you see the score as we go to the top of the 4th inning. And the Phillies with a 1-0 lead. And for the play-by-play, this is like old times. My partner and buddy, Michael Kay.
Thank you, John. Quinn shows bunt, takes a strike from Chad Green. Jamison Tyone threw 60 pitches. Went 2 2/3, allowed 1 run, his first run of the spring. He struck out Quinn in the 2nd inning. That one is ripped and off the glove of Bruce. DJ LeMahieu gets it and not in time to get Quinn. So that'll be a single off the glove of Bruce.
Well, let's see. Oh, it just goes off his glove. And Quinn can really run. So let's see if they score that a hit or an error. Huh?
Well, it shows you what speed does, John. He's playing in to guard against the bunt, and if he's back a little, he has more reaction time, probably gloves that easily. Instead, you've got the speedster, Quinn, on first base. So, John, we've heard about the rules that they've started to, or they're going to employ in the minor leagues this year. And I just wanted to get your take on some of them, where one of the things that's going to be employed is that you can only throw over first base twice. You could throw over a third time, but if you don't get him, John, it's a balk. Because they don't want a pitcher standing on the mound throwing to first base 100 times. They always say speed slows down the game. Do you like that or not?
Well, I want to see that in action. If you're a great base stealer, it's a great advantage. So maybe we'll see more of the running game. So you lead off first, and the guy throws over twice and misses you. He's not going to throw over again unless he's really got a chance, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it may be good for the running game.
That one's popped up. Urshela. And throws it off the glove of Bruce. Don't know why he threw that ball, and that'll allow Quinn to go to second.
Well, you know, you can't sugarcoat that. He's such a smart player and such a great defensive player. And that was it. He had no reason to throw the ball. And, you know, if you're on the offensive side, make them throw the ball. You don't know what's going to happen with it. Well, that's why he threw the ball, because Quinn was already at second base. These are little things when you're doing the game off a monitor you can't see.
Well, the one thing, John, Quinn was back there in time. He had to know that. So that's going to be an error on Urshela as Quinn moves into scoring position. Here's Jeff Mathis. That one is driven out to left field. Frazier back, and it falls in front of him. He lost it in the twilight, and he's going to fire home as Quinn heads toward home, and he will make it. So he lost that in the gloaming, I guess, John, because he had no idea where that was. He was going back.
I guess. I mean, he was 10 feet away from the ball.
That's his oh moment. So Mathis gets 2 bases. Quinn scores. It's 2-0 Phils. Torres takes outside.
That'll be the weakest double that Mathis will ever hit, right?
Now, one of the other things they're trying, John, with the running game is that a pitcher, you see right here, he knows he does not see the ball, and then it falls about 15 feet in front of him, is they're going to force pitchers to step off the rubber before they throw to first base. So the Andy Pettitte move is history, at least in the minor leagues. They're going to see if it works, and they bring it up to the major leagues in future years, but a pitcher must step off the rubber.
Oh, these are all minor league rules that they're showing.
Yes.
We're trying. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're doing a few things that I actually like.
There's a strike. And another one, John, to improve the running game is they're making the bases larger with a less slippery surface. So the bases will be 3 feet more, square feet, 3 inches more. So you'll be closer to second base if you're on first base. And you know how many bang-bang plays there are. Stealing second, that ball is swung on, and the bat goes one way, and that's a strikeout. 2 away.
Well, one thing about stepping off before you throw to first, you'll never get a base runner.
Yep.
Which is okay. I understand they want to get rid of the lefty balk move. Pettitte had it great. Steve Carlton had it great, et cetera, et cetera. But you'd have to be the worst base runner in the world to get picked off after the guy steps off. Look, if he steps off, you get back to the bag.
Here's McCutchen, runner on second, 2 outs. Well, they want to restart the running game.
Do you think that Frazier might have seen the ball if this was a regular game and there were 2 or 3 decks? And there's only one deck, and so you can lose the ball more easy. It's not framed by the stands. You think that's possible?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's it. I think it's the time of night where it's starting to transition to nighttime, and it's not that dark. And although Steinbrenner Field has great lighting, it's not Major League Baseball lighting. I think if you're at Yankee Stadium with all the decks behind home plate, that frames the ball.
You know, this is an example of why spring training is just to get the team ready for the long season. But Chad Green's a great fastball pitcher. You see him throwing breaking balls. He's probably working on that.
Grounded to third. Urshela. And we'll do it. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. 2-0 Philadelphia. Next spring training game on Yes when the Bombers host the Blue Jays. Ryan Ruocco, Paul O'Neill, and Meredith Marakovitz will have the call, but then things get wild as my 98.7 ESPN radio co-host Don LaGreca and Peter Rosenberg will join me to call a few innings of action in support of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We've already raised over $30,000 for that great foundation. Coverage starts at 1 o'clock right here on Yes and streaming on the Yes app. It should be fun. You do not want to miss this one.
Very good idea.
Aaron Judge leads off the bottom of the 4th inning. I think Don's going to call you for some advice, John, in doing the game. So he's a little, you know, he wants to prepare.
No, it's okay as you take your show and put it on Yes. I like that. It's on Yes anyway.
Yeah. The 0-1.
So I gather on Wednesday that Meredith will be in Tampa. Ryan Ruocco will be probably here in this studio, and Paul will be in Cincinnati.
I think Paul might still be in Florida. That one's driven out to right field, but foul. And then, John, how about technology? I'll be in my home. Peter will be in his home. Don will be in his home. And we'll cross our fingers that it all works out.
Oh, it'll work out. Let's face it, Flip wouldn't have it any other way. It'll work out.
One-two to Judge. That's driven out to right field and deep. Going back, Herrera on the track. He'll make the play in front of the wall for the first out.
I would love, and I think any Yankee fan would, I would love to see Judge and Stanton stay completely healthy for a year and play in, let's say, 140 games or so. I'd like to think that with the other Yankees as well.
Well, Judge is a lot more healthy than he was last year in spring training. Remember, they discovered he had a broken rib. But I think you got a good look at what Stanton can do when healthy in the postseason last year. They couldn't get him out. They couldn't even keep him in the ballpark.
No. I thought last year was very tough, Michael, with no fans. It just was something missing. And I'm talking about live when the Yankees were home. Obviously, they're doing game off a monitor. So the way I understand it, on opening day, we might have as many as 10,000 people there, right?
Mm-hmm. 20% of capacity will be allowed at both Yankee Stadium and Citi Field. Thanks, Chuck, second base. And Torreyes just got Hicks for the second out. And here's the aforementioned mentioned Stanton, who's had a good spring, hitting for a good average, 1 home run, 5 ribbies. Now, they will not use him in the outfield this spring, but he said, and Aaron Boone said, there is a chance you'll see him in the outfield during the season. You like to open up that DH spot to give people a half day off?
Yeah. For one thing, they can give Judge that half day off and play Stanton in right field. It's a long season. And there's so few guys on the bench, you really got to use them all.
One and one on Stanton. Stanton has the only Yankee hit against Nola. He singled to center field, leading off the 2nd inning. Boy, Joe Girardi has to be thrilled with the way Nola looks. Last 3 years, Nola has tied Scherzer and Lester for the most National League wins. 16 ERA, 2nd in WAR behind Jacob deGrom. Whoa. Could not get out of the way. He'll take first. Maybe it got him on that guard. We'll have to see.
Well, I hope so. Greg Bird once said, you know, you wear this guard and it hits you everywhere but the guard. Let's see. Yeah, it looked like it got the guard, huh?
Also sounds like it got it. Yeah, I think it got the guard. That's got to be scary for him. He suffered that terrible injury while with the Marlins. Mike Fiers on the mound, and that's why he wears that wraparound guard on his helmet. So he's on first base, hit by a pitch. Here's Gleyber Torres. Fastball misses low.
Well, when you can throw that hard and you have a breaking ball that moves that much, I'll tell you how good Aaron Nola is. They had 2 good starters. Don't forget the ex-Met Zach Wheeler, who had a very good first year with Philadelphia, is behind him. I think we mentioned this on one of these broadcasts. Philadelphia last year had just had a phenomenally bad bullpen. Porous.
Lined up the middle, grabbed there, and fires to first for the final out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Stanton looks like he's okay. We will go to the 5th. Well, we go to the 5th inning. It's 2-0 Phillies, and the Yankees go to their 3rd pitcher. Tyone started, Green, and now Aroldis Chapman. I think that closers like spring training games the most because they don't have to wait till the 9th inning. They come in, and it's usually early, and then they could shower and leave. And Mariano Rivera didn't even have a gray Yankee uniform. He never went on the road. So let's call him the guy who actually makes those decisions, the manager, Aaron Boone. This is not a safe situation, Aaron. So what are you looking for with Chapman here?
Just another outing for him to build up. He's throwing the ball really well. He's had a good spring, a really good progression. Just, you know, another outing here. He'll have an off day and then go again on Wednesday. So he'll go every other day right now. But really like where he's at in his progression. He came in a great spot. Obviously, you know, we're talking about the split finger a lot, which has become it's been a really good, we feel like it's going to be a really good pitch for him, and it's a pitch that he's got a pretty good feel for.
So he'll face Rhys Hoskins. Hoskins is 2 for 2. You know, I'm curious, Aaron. He has a fastball and a change. The split actually can act as a change. Will that shelve the change, or will it just be a 3rd pitch that he'll use?
No, it's just that. It's split, change, whatever you want to call it. You know, pitch with some really, whoa. It's just, so it's fast slider split.
Mm-hmm. Do you think
Well,
he has the
split
confidence
really
to throw
isn't
it
changed.
in the 9th inning?
I do, yeah. It's something that he started messing with a little bit late last season, and then actually used it in the postseason even. It's a pitch that I mean, it profiles as a really effective pitch, but it's also a pitch he's shown to have a really good feel for. So I think we're all, including Chappie, very excited about it and what it can do for him and really as he moves through his career.
Here's the 2-0. 3-0.
Booney, the Yankee pitching in the spring has been great. What pitcher has stood out for you? What pitcher is pitching better than you thought?
Wow, it's a great question because we really have pitched really well. You know, I think Domingo Germán, the way he's looked, you know, the way I'd put it, I guess, the lack of rust. He's really been sharp. The stuff has been really good. Excellent command with all his pitches. It surprised me. I thought there would be more rust to knock off, and he's been really impressive. But I could go down the list. I mean, the way Garrett threw the ball yesterday, the way Chappie's been throwing, I feel good about the way our bullpen's been throwing. All our starters have been throwing the ball really well. So encouraged by where they all are at this point in spring, but you know, we get to find out for real in another 10 days.
Now, of the 6 starters that we kind of assume are battling for the 5th spot, or the 5 spots, coming into this game, Aaron, 1.66 ERA. So somebody who has pitched very well this spring is not going to get into that rotation. Will that be a tough call for you to have, or is it going to be tough to have that conversation with that said pitcher?
Yeah, I mean, sure, of course, but I would also say that, you know, look, every year you're going to need to lean on typically more than 5 guys, and we think this year, coming off of last year, and you know, with some of the guys that we're going to, you know, make sure we're protecting and taking care of and watching, you know, just how much they throw. There's going to be, you know, 6 and 7 and beyond that are going to make meaningful appearance for us and pitch meaningful innings for us, and we really feel good about the depth of guys that we have and guys that we can turn to, whether we go with a spot starter from time to time, potentially insert a 6th guy at different points of the season. So feel good about the depth that we have right now and how they've looked to this point.
There's the 0-2 to Gregorius. 1-2. Let's talk about your starter today, Taillon. He gave up his first run of the spring. Did he run out of gas there? It looked like he got victimized by the shift. The ball was hit just through the vacated hole. What did you think of Taillon?
I thought he was actually really sharp. He just ran up. He was on a 60 pitch count today, so we got him out of there, and actually worked out well because we were thinking about getting Greeny 2 ups, and he ends up going 4 outs, which we wanted to do with him.
That allows Hoskins to go to second.
But I thought he was really sharp, actually, with all his pitches. I thought he elevated I thought he used his fastball at the top of the zone effectively. Elevated some really good sliders. I thought Hoskins, for the RBI, I thought really put together a good at bat when J-Mo executed a lot of pitches, and he just ends up beating them. Then you know, a chopper up the middle, you know, some soft serves on him. But I thought overall he threw the ball really well. Again, in kind of his build-up.
One of the tough decisions I would think you're going to have to make, Aaron, is Bruce and Tauchman. One doesn't have an option. One's not on the 40-man roster. So the guy that doesn't make the team, you might lose. How close is that battle?
Well, and I think you can add Derek Dietrich to that mix. I mean, those, you know, those 2 guys plus Dietrich are really guys that have you know, come in and been what we had hoped, I guess you'd say. You know, we've seen Jay Bruce play a lot of first base to go along with the outfield, you know, showing that versatility. He looks healthy. I feel like he's had quality at bats. Same can be said for Dietrich, and Mike Tauchman, I feel like looked good and really played well in the outfield. Set up a couple balls out of the ballpark this spring. So they've all, I think, done what we've hoped. So I guess in a way, turning it into a difficult decision.
Well, Booney, a lot has been made about Urshela shifting over a couple of days ago playing short. Now, you know, and I know he can play shortstop. He played for Cleveland. And he can play, you know, he has such great hand. As he said, I can play second, too. But you have to have a reserve infielder, am I right?
Well, yeah, and you know, obviously we're lucky to have, you know, Tyler Wade, who's really good defensively in the infield and can play all over, and you know, can play the outfield as well. But yeah, I mean, it's about just trying to create a little bit of versatility. You know, you get in situations where maybe Gio needs to go over and play a day to spell Glaber, or you got to fill in for a couple innings here and there. You know, similar to what DJ does. You know, DJ's going to play another game at third base here later this week. We'll mix them in at first. We'll switch them over to first mid-game that time.
Hoskins goes. Ball gets away from Sanchez, so Hoskins is at third.
They always say that you steal third base on the pitcher, and boy, that was a case right there. Look at Hoskins running, and no one would have thrown him out. Happened to be the ball in the dirt.
Yeah, he got a walking lead there, and he actually got us the other day when we were a little slow to the mound, stealing second. So, you know, lost track of him a little bit there.
So runner at third. Yankees bring the infield in. Tipped into the glove of Sanchez, 2-2. Now, Tyler Wade is such a good defensive shortstop. But in theory, Aaron, you would need him in a big way if Glaber got hurt. But if you don't carry Wade and he has an option left, the fact that Gio could play short in a pinch, that gives you some maneuverability there if that's the decision you make, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're just trying to, you know, where guys have a particular skill set. It might have been the spit right there, huh?
Yeah.
Where guys have, you know, where they have some, you know, some room with their skill set, and certainly Gio, we all know, has great hands and plays so much shortstop. Really, when he shifted over anyway, it's kind of easy for him to go over there. So, you know, to create some versatility as much as we can, like, you know, we're trying to do with Bruce. Dietrich plays a lot of positions. Obviously Wade, DJ with his ability to go to third and first. You know, especially with rosters that are more, you know, more pitchers nowadays, and you know, only, you know, now with a 26-man, we'll likely have a 4-man bench, one of those being a catcher. The more versatility you can create with guys just gives you more options and a little more flexibility night in and night out.
1-0 count on Herrera. You know, we were talking about the Yankees in the 50s where they actually had 2 backup catchers, and they didn't carry 12, 13 pitchers. And there's some murmurs about maybe that baseball could limit the amount of pitchers that a team could carry so you could carry more position players. Would you be in favor of that, or do you want 15 pitchers?
No, I'd be in favor of some kind of limit, and I think baseball's moving that way. I think they're keeping it open this year just with the extension of COVID and things like that. They're keeping that flexibility there, but I think we're moving to where it's a more balanced roster.
Thank you, Aaron. We appreciate your time.
All right, guys. See you soon.
All right, very well. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We're halfway through. It's 2-0 Phillies. Welcome back to Yankee Spring Training, brought to you by Ford. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. On the Audi scoreboard, 2-7-0 for the Phillies, 0-1-1 for the Yankees. Along with John Sterling and Meredith Marakovitz, I'm Michael Kay. And we thank you for spending part of your Monday evening with us. Nola still in there, and he'll face Jay Bruce, who struck out in the 2nd inning. That one is chopped off the foot of Bruce. So he got off to a great start.
You guys are talking
hitting
about
222.
The bullpen.
Smacked into center field. Quinn's there. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. So here's Gio Urshela. That was a strike. Boy, John, does Nola look sharp or what?
Well, he really is terrific. You know, in a division where you have Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer, and he's awfully good. You know, you were talking with Aaron Boone. Well, there's some of the war leaders of pitchers. And I would like any one of those four, and the Yankees have one of those four.
That one's chopped to the mound. Nola fires to first and gets Urshela.
Well, Michael, you and Aaron Boone were talking about the size of bullpens, and it's changed so much. It's changed so much in our time. But a few years ago, Tito Francona, the great manager of the Indians, he told my compañera, Susan Waldman, he said, if I could have 17 guys in the bullpen, I would. So I really like that idea that they may scale down and allow you only X number of pitchers. First of all, you wouldn't be going to the bullpen all the time. Secondly, Blake Snell could finish what he started. Now, how would it affect the game? I guess it would provide a little more offense.
And you know what else it might do, John? It might force managers to go third time through the order with the starter.
Oh, absolutely.
Blake Snell, who was pitching one of the great World Series games you'll see, was taken out because they didn't want him to go third time through the order. And he tells the story that after the game, his father called him up and was sobbing on the phone that he didn't get a chance to see his son finish what he started.
Well, it was a terrible, terrible move. And after the game, you know, he took him out because the top of the order was coming up. Mookie Betts and Seager and Turner. And he had faced them 6 times. You know what happened? He struck him out 6 times. And Mookie Betts said, boy, were we glad to see him go out of the game. We couldn't touch him. And in my own little mind, I can run down pitchers who in pennant, or rather championship clinching games, went all the way and pitched a shutout. Mickey Lolich, Sandy Koufax, Whitey Ford, Johnny Cooks, Johnny Padres. And, you know, he was so good that night, that might have been his night to go all the way. Sandy Koufax pitched the 7th game in Minnesota on 2 days rest. It was in the 65 series. And, of course, he pitched a shutout. Anyway, you wonder, Michael, would Cash have taken out any of those guys I named?
I think he might have, which is shocking, but that's the way the game is played now. Remember the 1991 World Series, John, Game 7, Jack Morris. I mean, the legend goes, if the game was still going on right now, he would still be pitching.
He'd be pitching. Oh, that was a great effort. Well, that was a special night for Blake Snell. He was unhittable. And you know, the next day, Kevin Cash, of course, probably the right thing to say for him, he said, I would do it again. Boy.
Swing and a miss. Nola's big night continues as the Yankees go down in order. We're going to the 6th in Tampa. It's 2-0 Phillies. Yes!
Let's go Yankees. Let's go Yankees.
And I have a Yankee hat on, practice shirts, and a practice Yankee shirt on. Keep hitting. I love you.
Now is the Yankees Fan Spotlight. To get your shot in the spotlight, make sure to post your videos to your favorite social media platform using the hashtag Yankees Fan Spotlight. Go to the 6th inning. Darren O'Day deals to Roman Quinn, who fouls it off. Boy, there's a difference between the way O'Day throws, John, and Chapman the inning before.
Well, that's a very big part of the bullpen, to have different looks. And boy, I've always loved Darren O'Day. He's always pitched well against the Yanks. And I thought that was a very good signing. You notice on the first pitch, Quinn, who's very speedy, bluffed a bunt and then took a chop at the ball. You don't see that very often. Tony Fernandez used to do that all the time.
Swing and a miss. Quinn down on strikes. Well, O'Day has a very inspiring story. He walked on at the University of Florida, and he threw in the mid-'80s. And he got cut freshman year when he was throwing overhand. And between his freshman and sophomore years, he pitched in the Jacksonville Municipal League, started goofing around and threw sidearm. He tried out again at the University of Florida, became a closer, got a scholarship, played there 4 years, and here he is in a long major league career.
Well, I didn't know it was that long. 14 years.
And you'll see Boone has been bringing him in when he knows he's going to face a couple of lefties, because obviously he's death on righties with the sidearm motion. But he has the stuff to get out left-handers as well, because with the new, the second-year rule that you have to face 3 batters when you come in, he's going to face lefties the way lineups are constructed.
And O'Day says, I can get lefties out. That doesn't bother him to see lefties.
Now, John, I don't know if you noticed, but the Yankees are wearing their home white pinstripe pants, the blue batting practice top, interlocking NY in white on the left chest, Nike swoosh logo on the right chest, number on the back in white, no name, of course, midnight blue cap with the Yankee top hat logo on the right side, interlocking NY in the front, superimposed on the NY is the Yankee top hat logo. Swing and a miss, 3-2.
Like old times. You see, that's one way to get out lefties. That breaking ball went right down to the ankles of Joyce. Good pitch.
What do you think, John? More Quisenberry or Tekulve?
I think DeColvey went down further. I guess that's pretty close. You know, Michael, you ever remember just from reading about baseball, I'll get it to you right after this pitch. Do you remember the name Eldon Walker?
Yes.
The only reason I know the name is that in Dimagg's great hitting streak, he came up in the 9th inning against Walker and he got a base hit to continue the streak. Well, a buddy of ours did a book, Tom Keegan, on Walker. And Walker, like O'Day, tried to pitch normally and wasn't having any success at all. And so he went the sidearm route, and he had a long major league career.
Well, they say it's more natural for the arm. You know, throwing overhand is unnatural. Yeah.
Right. Right. Very much so.
Mathis chops from the 3rd. Beautiful short hop pick there by Urshela. They can't turn 2, but they do get the force at 2nd.
I say this about 100 times during the year on our broadcast. You want the ball hit to Urshela. What hands? I mean, he's a tremendous defensive third baseman.
So here's Ronald Torreyes. Singled and scored in the 3rd, struck out in the 4th. Pitch high, 85-mile-an-hour fastball. A little surprising the Braves didn't really try to bring O'Day back last year. 19 games, he had a 1.10 ERA.
You know, I didn't understand what the Braves did because I'm not there in Atlanta, but they had a lot of terrific late inning relief pitches on one team. I saw Mark Melanson the other night pitching for San Diego.
On the number 9 hitter, Ronald Torreyes. Runner at first, 2 men out, 2-0 Phillies, top of the 6th inning. Right down the middle. 82 miles an hour, 3-1.
He's behind 3-0 to a not a great hitter, and he didn't waste any time. He threw 2 fastballs right over the plate.
Line drive, a base hit to left field. Mathis will go to 2nd. Frazier flips it in to Gleyber Torres, so a 2-out single for Torreyes, his 2nd hit of the night. Hey, stream every regular season game live or on demand with MLB.tv online or on your favorite supported devices, as well as select spring training games. Blackouts and other restrictions apply, so visit MLB.tv for details. So that'll bring up Andrew McCutchen. Had a little cup of coffee with the Yankees. Was very well received in their clubhouse. They liked him a lot. Became a free agent after that. And sometimes you forget how great a player McCutchen was, John. He won the MVP in 2013 in the National League. And in 4 straight seasons, from 12 to 15, he was in the top 5 in MVP voting with the Pirates. That's how good he was.
Yeah. And we noticed something when he came to the Yankees, not the same player he was that many years ago.
Fly ball, deep center, backing up Hicks. He makes it on the run. And O'Day works into and out of trouble. No run to hit. 2 men left. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Yes app is here, and it's your new official home for streaming the Yankees on Yes. To download now, just take out your phone and scan the QR code on the screen. Get inside the action like never before with personalized content and state-of-the-art streaming experience. Download the Yes app now wherever you get your apps. You get highlights, press conference clips, post-game player interviews on demand, as well as episodes of Homegrown and Yankees Magazine. It's a great app. It's powered by the same streaming technology as the Super Bowl, the Olympics, and NCAA basketball tournament. And you get crystal clear picture quality on your phone or your iPad. John, we went to a football game at Yankee Stadium a couple of years ago, and your children were there. It was right before Christmas. And one of the triplets came up to me, I think it was Bradford, and said, "Do you have any idea what we should get my dad for Christmas? I mean, he has everything he wants." Nola's still in there. And I said, "Well, he loves to read." I said, "Get him an iPad." Because, you know, that's a good idea. Now, the latest information I have, John, is that that's being used as a coaster somewhere in your apartment. You have not fired up the iPad yet. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, you told me a story about that once. Someone gave you Citizen Kane, and you put it on the top shelf, and it's still there.
No, yes, but I have watched it. I have watched it.
They actually, you did a good thing. They actually gave me an iPad. We haven't done anything with it, but for that to be soon. Well, maybe when they get out of college. And that was the Pinstripe Bowl, I think.
Yes. No. I think it was the Notre Dame game. Here's the 1-2 to Clint Frazier. The Yankees have managed just 1 hit off of Nola. And before the game was announced that Nola, a ground ball up the middle, that Nola was going to be the opening day starter. And John, 4 straight opening day starts. The last Philly pitcher to do that?
Steve Carlton.
Steve Carlton. He's in the 3rd year of a 4-year, $45 million contract. 1-2.
Well, all he has to do is stay healthy, and he will get a big, fat contract next time.
Strike 3. Frazier down looking. Let's check out today's injury report brought to you by Montefiore Doing More. So Miguel Andujar has right hand and wrist nerve irritation. Had it this offseason, resurfaced again during spring training, visited a hand specialist the middle of this month. He is not participating in hitting or throwing drills. Last game he had was March 10th, and they don't expect him to be in a game anytime soon.
And Michael, he has done some defensive drills on the field to kind of try to keep him loose, but he hasn't been throwing when doing those defensive drills. And it looked like he was going to be caught up in a numbers game anyway as far as making that opening day roster. But this kind of solidifies it, the fact that he has not been swinging a bat. And as Aaron Boone said, it doesn't look as though that is going to happen anytime soon.
It's so unfortunate for this kid, John. He had a great rookie season. And then early in the next season, he's diving back to third base in a pickoff attempt against the Orioles and tears his shoulder up. And Gio Urshela gets a chance, and he hasn't looked back.
No, and what you say is true. In his only year playing with the Yankees, his numbers were great. And I put him in my mind. I think 297, 27 homers, 92 RBIs, and something in the 40s in doubles. And he's had nothing but bad breaks since.
So 3-1 on LeMahieu, who is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground ball to short. Yankees trailed 2-0. We said just one hit, just 2 base runners, and Stanton got the hit and then was hit by a pitch. Those are the only 2 base runners. Otherwise, Nola has been perfect. Eight strikeouts so far in 5 1/3 innings. Aaron Hicks sitting with the coaches. He's in the hole. On deck is Aaron Judge. Strike 3. He has zeroed in on that outside corner.
Well, that's pitching, huh? Look at this pitch. Perfect. That's kind of on the outside part of the black on the outside corner.
So here's Judge, still looking for his first spring training home run, hitting .242. He drove one to the warning track in the 4th inning, run down by Odubel Herrera. Justin Wilson warming for the Yanks. He'll be next up. Now, we have a great crowd, Mike, so when Nola gets on the rubber, right over his left shoulder is a little guy over the New Era logo on the rotating signboard. And, John, you've heard this expression, a leather lung. This little kid has a voice that is carrying to all levels of the tri-state area and beyond.
Well,
there he is. Diving stop by Torres, gets to his feet, fires, and a scoop by Hoskins, and that will do it as Nola completes 6 innings of shutout baseball, and Judge looks at his former teammate and goes, well, you got me. Yankees go down in order. We're going to go to the 7th. Really nice play by Torres. 2-0 Phils. Welcome back to Yankee Spring Training, brought to you by Ford. Top of the 7th inning, 2-0 Phillies over the Yankees. The little guy on the right is now going to battle John Sterling for the microphone and the play-by-play in the 7th. John, good luck.
Well, he'll probably win. Now, here's the left-hander in his second tour of duty with the Yanks, Justin Wilson. Pitched across town with the Mets last year. Fastball pitcher. A lot of high fastballs. This is Rhys Hoskins. I guess Joe Girardi is going to get all his players, or most of his starters, 4 at-bats, I guess.
One other change for the Yankees. Socrates Brito takes over for Frazier in left.
Hoskins goes the opposite way again. He is 3 for 3 with a walk tonight. You know, what I was going to say about McCutchen is he came to the Yankees and we noticed, Susan and myself, that almost invariably he would get the count to 3-2. So he is a pretty good leadoff man. And as I mentioned with Didi and Hoskins and Bryce Harper and Bohm, they should score their share of runs. Now, will their bullpen be better? Well, that's the big question.
I wonder if you remember this about him, John. He would, he had swag when he walked. You know, like guys flip the bat when they hit a home run. Andrew McCutchen would flip the bat when he walked. He loved walking.
Well, that's a big thing, you know, if you get on base. Didi hits one deep and far and gone, a 2-run home run. Yes, indeedy. And not a very good beginning for Wilson.
Boy, did he club that. Signed a 2-year, $28 million deal during the offseason. Takes that pitch right down the line against the lefty. Right in the wheelhouse, John.
Didi may have had a poor year coming back from injury, but he can hit, and he can hit with power, too, as you just saw. Alec Bohm fouls it off. You know, I keep on bringing up, and I asked Aaron Boone and Michael, I guess I'll ask you. You have to have a reserve infielder. For example, you could put Urshela at short. Then you could move LeMahieu to third. But then who's going to play second base? That foul tip got Sanchez. Oh, boy. Got him in the wrong spot.
I think it first got him on the right foot and then ricocheted up. Seems like he's okay.
Wilson, who has given up a single and a home run, now behind 2-1 on Alec Bohm. I gather that the larger bases that they're going to use in the minor leagues, that would prevent you from sliding and then slipping off the bag and getting tagged. Is that the reason for it?
There's a couple of reasons. They want it less slippery because people get injured that way, and they want you to be less than 90 feet away from second base, so you have a better chance of stealing. So first base will be closer to second. They will not move it closer to home, so that will still be exactly 90 feet away. But with the second base bag bigger and the first base bag bigger, it's going to be less than 90 feet. And as I said earlier, how many times do you see a bang-bang play, and they're going to get more stolen bases?
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. I thought it was because they might slide off the bag. But here you can grip the bag, too, if you slide by. Bohm walked, as you can see, and here is Herrera.
John, did you see our buddy Al Leiter's son, Jack, pitched a no-hitter for Vanderbilt? 16 strikeouts, no hits. And he might be a top 5 draft pick coming up. Top 5.
Oh, you know, I did see that. And we knew Jack when he was a very little boy. And he really must be good. Well, that's a great program at Vanderbilt.
Here's the last out of that no-hitter by Jack. His teammates into it. He's a righty. Dad was a lefty. And there's strike 3. What a good kid, too. And they have another pitcher, John, Kumar Rocker. They might be the first college program to ever have the first and second pick in the draft.
And that's something.
They think Rocker could be the #1 pick.
Well, if you have you pitch a no-hitter and you get 16 strikeouts out of 27 outs, boy, you must have pretty good stuff.
Remember, the Yankees drafted Jack out of high school. They were hoping that he would forego the scholarship to Vanderbilt, but Al was dead set. Al and Lori, they wanted their son to go to college to get the college experience. So he'll be eligible for the draft this year. And he's 21 years old. And Herrera gets pulled. I guess he didn't. I guess he hit the bat, John.
I guess. I thought he was heading towards second. Let's see. Boy, didn't that look like it hit him on the arm?
Yeah, or the hand. I guess it got the knob of the bat.
This is Odubel Herrera. Well, Wilson's having a very tough inning. Check swing ground ball, foul. You know, Michael, you always wonder in any sport, football, basketball, in this case baseball, how you build a program. Isn't it amazing how Vanderbilt, which is a very good school, is able to recruit? I mean, they have one top flight player after another.
David Price, Sonny Gray, Dansby Swanson, pretty good program. All from Vandy. Also,
so
Buster
now
Olney.
3-2 on Herrera.
They're going to come out to the mound to see if Justin Wilson is okay. Stevie Donahue and Aaron Boone. And that's it. He's out of the game.
Whoa. Not good.
This is the last pitch that he threw. And he called.
Oh.
He called out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we talked about health and how that's so paramount as you come down toward the end of spring training, John. It's the last thing they need, so we'll see if we get any information as the Yankees will have to go to the bullpen. Justin Wilson leaves with what appears to be an injury. Hey, the Yes app is here, and it's your new official home for streaming the Yankees on Yes. To download now, just take out your phone and scan the QR code on the screen. Get inside the action like never before with personalized content and a state-of-the-art streaming experience. It's special, believe me. Download the Yes app now, wherever you get your apps. Well, the Yankees have to hold the breath that everything is okay with Justin Wilson, but we did see him motion to the Yankee dugout that something was up, and they took him out of the game. And Nestor Cortez Jr. will come in and he'll get as much time as he needs to warm up because Wilson left with an injury. Last year with the Mariners, 5 games, 1 start. The bloated ERA, 12 hits in 7.2 innings. He's been with the Yankees before, actually drafted by the Yankees in the 36th round in 2013, and he was 5-1 with the team in 2019. So he says he's okay. That's the beauty of being a relief pitcher, John. It doesn't take that long to warm up.
No, maybe he was in the bullpen before, maybe. So two straight left-handers come in, both in their second tour of duty with the Yankees. And I've already assigned Meredith Marakovitz to find out exactly what is wrong with Wilson. This is Herrera. Now the count is 3-2. Now here is Cortez' payoff pitch. Now that walk, this is unimportant, it's all bookkeeping. That walk would be charged to Wilson. There's no one out in the inning. 2 runs are in. Philadelphia with a 4-0 lead. And now Roman Quinn turns around about right-handed. There's the bunt. Something you never see, but we just saw it there. A bunt to get him to second and third. I like the idea. It's 4-0 Phillies. Now they get a base hit in the next 2 batters. They will take a 6-0 lead, and you know that should be sufficient.
Bunted the ball well. Cortez got out of the way. Left the sure-handed third baseman Urshela make the play, and he fired to LeMahieu, who moved over from second, covering at first. So he scored that sac bunt 5-4.
So Bohm at third, Herrera at second. This is Matt Joyce.
Now, John, last year Wilson had a very good year. Averaged 94.9 miles per hour with his 4-seam fastball. Tonight, he was at 91.8.
Big difference. Now, it's true in spring, not only does a young man's fancy, but in spring, you don't throw as hard as you do after a couple of months. So maybe there's nothing wrong with Wilson's arm. Maybe he's just slow in spring. Yankees bring the infield in. If you're going to do it in the regular season, you might as well do it here. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball missed. So the count is 3-2.
Well, you're a pitcher. You want that call.
Another breaking ball popped him up. That's Glaber, and there are 2 away.
Well, the Phillies still waiting on JT Realmuto. Fractured his right thumb right at the start. He was supposed to play on Sunday, but he was scratched with general soreness. He did play in a sim game on Saturday.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, all the way back to when we were broadcasting the games on radio together. Everyone makes a big thing about going north. getting ready for the opening game. And I'm sure every player wants that. But in reality, you know, you can play 10 games, 20 games, 30 games. You haven't even begun the season yet. So they should take their time with, I'm sure the Phillies need me to help them, but they should take their time with Real Muto.
Do you remember General?
Michael, did you notice? Did you notice when Wilson was telling Boone and Stevie Donahue what was hurting? He had the glove over his mouth?
Yes. Well, even Masahiro Tanaka would do that, as if the other team was employing a lip reader that could read Japanese.
Very few of those guys around. So Cortez needs one good pitch to get out of this inning. Second and third, 2 men out, 2 in. Here's another 3-2. Struck them out swinging. 2 runs and 2 hits and 2 left. And there you see the score in the middle of the 7th inning. Philly with a 4-0 lead.
7th inning, and it's 4-0 Phillies. And we are so happy to be joined by the right fielder of the New York Yankees, Aaron Judge, whose night is done, but he's going to do a little broadcasting with us. Aaron, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, Mike. How you doing?
Doing very well. How close do you feel right now?
Oh, we're right there. We're right there. You know, it's always this last week that's pretty tough. You know, we've been grinding hard since, season ended last year, and had a couple weeks here in spring training getting at bats and getting our feet wet in games again with fans. But it's this last week, you're kind of looking forward to the season starting. But we got to keep the intensity. I'm not liking the score right now, 4-0 with 1 hit, but we'll pick it up.
Aaron Nola's night is through. This is Brandon Kinsler, who they hope will solve a lot of bullpen problems. And the pop fly is caught by Travis Jankowski, 1 away.
Aaron, how much do results count for you right now? You're still looking, obviously, for your first home run. You drove one deep to the warning track in your second at bat today. Do you look at that sort of stuff, or are you just looking at the quality of your at-bats at this point?
Quality at bats. Of course you want to see results and, see homers and base hits and RBIs and stuff like that. But, if I keep making solid contact and, driving pitches I should be driving, then I'm happy with whatever happens.
Hey, Aaron, you mentioned you got a taste of fans here at Steinbrenner Field, but opening day right around the corner. Can you just describe how excited you are to hear the fans back at Yankee Stadium?
Oh, wow. It's going to, here in Tampa, we got some pretty good fans. They always show out in numbers, but, the fans we have in New York are completely different animal. Oh, my goodness. Completely different animal.
There's another base hit to Stanton. A shot down the left field line. Well, Aaron, the starting pitching has been great. The bullpen is very good. And right now, you guys are all healthy. How exciting is it that this could be a big year for the Yankees? Everybody feels it.
Yeah, we all feel it. I think, like I've said before, these past couple of years in the postseason is not, finishing it and, doing our job is kind of stung with these guys. And, I've got a chance to play with this group for quite a while now. So it's, this is our time. We got a great group of guys. We added a couple great arms that, not only great arms, but great guys in the clubhouse, with Corey Kluber and Tyone. But it's going to be a fun year. I'm looking forward to it. The experience we had last year, every postseason experience is a good one. Even though it's bad, you learn more from your failures than you do, your successes.
Aaron, how good does it feel to feel good?
Oh, it feels great. That's what you're always looking for. Coming into camp, you want to feel 100% and, be 100% down the stretch, when it matters in October. But, I'm feeling great in camp. Came in great shape. Got a lot of at-bats in the offseason, worked on my swing, worked on some defensive stuff I wanted to do. And, we're hungry. We're hungry.
Aaron, you look at this lineup, there is power, there is depth. What are your expectations for the offense this year?
Wow. I'll just stay consistent. That's all, I really ask for, especially with this offense. We got, a lot of guys that can hit homers. We got DJ at the top of the lineup that can, do everything. And then all the way down to, if we got Clint Frazier batting ninth, and that's going to be something special. But I just want us all to be consistent. If we keep having great at-bats consistently, put the bat on the ball, I know good things are going to happen with this squad.
Now, I noticed when Stanton hit that rocket inside third, you went wow. I mean, we go wow when you hit the ball. You go wow when he hits the ball. I mean, is he amazing to you how hard he hits it?
Yeah, it's I feel like I hit the ball pretty hard, but Big G, he takes it up a notch. I would not want to be playing third base, and I feel bad for Phil Nevin over there at third base when he's got to come up with Gary Sanchez and Big G and me, come up there, and if we get a hold of one down that line, he doesn't have much time to react.
Aaron, you're talking about the ball coming off the bat. How much do you guys actually pay attention to exit velocity and just how hard it is coming off the bat? Is there any friendly competition when it comes to that?
Not really. I think G takes the cake with that one. So we're all just trying to, fight for second place when it comes to exit velo. He's putting up the 120, 122, and it's pretty impressive. So I don't mind coming in second to that if it's a base hit.
Well, I thought Meredith asked a good question. I never talk about launch angle and the velo. I know it's a base hit or not. Well, that's all for Kinsler. And Michael, you're going to take us to Spot?
I'd rather talk to Aaron, but there have to be bills to be paid. Yeah, we're actually going to stay. So Brandon Kitzler's out. They're going to go to the bullpen. It's interesting what John's saying because again, every single big hit we do say launch angle, and we also say exit velo. Do you guys look at that to see if you're hitting the ball well, or do you just know without saying, oh, that was 118 miles off the bat?
Yeah, you just kind of know, my big thing is I really don't worry about, exit velo or anything like that. I know if I work on my mechanics and I do what I need to do, the exit velo and the launch angle, all that stuff will be there. I'll get the right results, the right numbers, So for me, I've always tried to, go a step before the launch angle and, do my stuff in the cage, and I think the results will kind of speak for themselves.
Hey, Aaron, early this spring, you made the comment that you wanted to play smarter, not necessarily harder. What exactly did you mean by that? And is it difficult to, in some cases, maybe take a step back and do the smarter thing?
Yeah, it's tough. My whole life I've always, tried to play 100% every single play. Try to do the little things to, help put my team on top. If that's taking an extra base, if I got to run into the stand, run into a wall to make a catch, I'm going to do it. But it takes its toll, especially playing 162 games, it takes a toll. So for me, it's about being a little smarter in spring training. There's a couple times I could have dove or, kind of got to a ball, up against the wall. But, in spring training, play it off the wall and keep the guy to a single. It's about just playing, just staying on the field. That's a big thing for me and, a couple guys on this team. When you stay on the field, some good things will happen.
Aaron, it seems like yesterday when, we remember you hitting your first home run, and it wasn't yesterday. You're now almost a veteran. Has the time gone by fast?
Wow, yeah, it has. It has flown by since 2016. I think back to my first spring training here in 2015 and, being around Teixeira, A-Rod, those two big guys that are, future Hall of Famers, and the things they did in pinstripes. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Jay Bruce hits one deep and a terrific running catch by Quinn in deep center field. That was great. Well, thank you, Aaron, for your time. No runs on a hit.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
And here at the end of 7, 4-0 Phillies.
Your home of champions.
My life took a different turn, that I actually had athletic ability. And I ended up making the Yankees. It's the 7th game of the World Series, and I've never hit a home run, but I hit one out. What would your call be?
Michael is okay. Brilliant, right? Brilliant.
Well, if you want to keep the reunion tour going, stay right here after the game and catch an episode of Center Stage where I sat down with John Sterling as he reflected on his decades-long career calling Yankees game. That's tonight after the game right here on Yes, and you can also watch it on demand anytime on the Yes app. And that was a fun hour that we did a couple of years ago, John.
Oh, it was great. I absolutely loved that. That was terrific. You did a great job. I just ran my mouth. This is Travis Jankowski, who draws a walk from Cortez to begin the 8th inning. And by the way, you know, you asked me, that's a very tough thing to ask. What would the home run call be? People ask me that all the time. Yeah, I can't come up with something. Who do you think I am? But with your name, Michael K., well, that was a walk in the park.
Your name is Moniac. You ain't got it.
Now we're at the portion of the game, John, where we're going to have to figure out who's up. It's Mickey Moniak now.
A highly regarded prospect for the Phillies. Sidearm gets away from Sanchez, and Jankowski goes to second.
That should be a pass ball. That was not that far outside. It had a riding action on it.
It looked like he had his glove turned the wrong way. So the strikeout of Moniak. And this is a youngster named Derek Hall.
You know, it's funny, John, we heard Aaron Judge, and every player that we've spoken to is absolutely elated that there will be fans in the stands.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't know if they ever took it for granted, but boy, Jankowski takes off a third and gets thrown out. But boy, they know what they didn't have last year.
Well, there's the second out. Sanchez, one thing about Gary, through all of his problems, he has a fabulous arm. He has, I would say, as good an arm as any catcher. So they're a two away. Michael, didn't you feel last year in doing the games, I'm talking about the home games, the Yankees were there, obviously, there was something missing that just wasn't as exciting without fans?
I mean, the fans really are the soundtrack, and it wasn't there last year.
This would be the third out. And it is, so Cortez has a 1-2-3. And there you see the score in the middle of the 8th inning.
Spring training on Yes is brought to you by your local Ford stores. Ford is proud to be the official SUV of the New York Yankees. For current offers, visit buyfordnow.com. We have a new battery. Hector Neris, he's the pitcher, and Rodolfo Duran is the catcher.
The lefty Tony Watson got the last out. He got Bruce out on that long fly ball to center. So here's Hector Neris, who at one point was the Philly closer. This is Urshela. The Yankees have 2 hits tonight, both by Stanton. Stanton, a perfect night. Single hit batsman and double.
John, they really redid their bullpen. So Neris stays from last year. They got Archie Bradley, Jose Alvarado. We saw Brandon Kinsler, Tony Watson, and Sam Coonrod. So a lot of different arms as they tried to remake the bullpen because it was so ineffective last year.
Oh, it kept the Phillies out of the postseason. Urshela, a high pop-up. That's Jankowski. They got Bradley, the right-hander, and Alvarado, who you know from his Tampa days really throws hard. Tony Watson, another lefty. Kinsler, another righty. So, yeah, they built up their bullpen. I mean, they built it up in the offseason. Now we'll see how they pitch. Here's Gary Sanchez with 1 out.
You know, they would like Alvarado to close, but they're just not sure if he could throw enough strikes. So it could be Neris again.
A 1-2 on Sanchez with 1 out, no one on, bottom of the 8th, and you see the score.
You know, one thing Gary talked about regarding last year, he said, you just got to put it away. It's over with. There's nothing you could really do about it. And that's the best way to approach it. He's not starting this year hitting in the 140s. He's at 0 starting off just like everybody else. And, you know, you could put that in your rearview mirror. Can't worry about it. Can't change it. Those numbers are the numbers.
Oh, 2-2 on Sanchez. Neris thought he had it. Obviously, DeJesus did not, so the count goes full. Boy, he took something off, and Sanchez way ahead. So 2 down. Change. You know, Michael, you were mentioning, talking with Boone, Aaron Boone, about the split change from Chapman. This is Socrates Brito. Anyway, Chapman's splitter, if he throws it for strikes and it drops, which is the biggest thing, what an ideal pitch. A guy that throws that hard, fastball hard, slider hard. If he controls it, he's an even better pitcher, don't you think? Brito out on the ground ball to first, and that'll do the 8th inning for the Yanks. They go down 1-2-3. 4-0 Philly going to the 9th.
Well, Yankee fans, become a Yankees Insider today. Receive the latest video highlights, up-to-date news, features, ticket specials, and more, all delivered free to your inbox wherever you are. Sign up today at Yankees.com/subscribe. And if you already have a Yankees.com account, log into Manager Preferences. Now, don't miss a moment. Visit Yankees.com/subscribe today.
Yankees bring in another lefty, third straight lefty. This is Tyler Lyons. Fastball slider. And a couple of years ago, I thought he'd be very good on a ball club because he can get lefties out. Because that was before the 3-batter minimum. And this is Luke Williams, who's taken over at third base for Bohm.
Well, you hope everything is okay with Justin Wilson. If you tuned in late, he left the game with an injury. We have not heard haven't heard anything about the injury, but he did motion to the dugout and came out of the game. So, again, you hope he's okay, John, but then you start to look at Lucas Litke, who had a perfect spring training till yesterday where he gave up 2 home runs. It could open up a job for a guy like Tyler Lyons. That's why, even if the numbers play against you, John, you have to keep doing the best you can because something could open up.
Yeah, and there are a lot of scouts in the stands at all these games, and it could be someone from Milwaukee or from San Diego or from Cleveland who sees you and thinks that could be an addition to their ball club. A good breaking ball strikes out Williams. And here is Bryson Stott. Another good breaking ball from Lyons.
Air him out, Vincent. Let's go. Bring it home. Bring it home. Let's go, 58. All day.
Well, we have a big game coming up on Wednesday at 1:05. Ryan Rucco and Paul O'Neill, and then I'll be joined by my radio co-host Don LaGreca and Peter Rosenberg. We'll do a couple of innings that benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation, so that's going to be a lot of fun. That's Wednesday against the Blue Jays. Starts at 1:05.
So there'll be 6 people on the broadcast, and they'll all be from different sites.
That's right.
That's Broadcasting 2021. Here's the payoff pitch from Lyons with 1 out and no one on. And the breaking ball gets his second straight strikeout.
John, you asked exactly what went on with Justin Wilson. You see right here on that pitch, he motions to the dugout. They come out, take him out of the game. He has tightness in his left shoulder. He'll be reevaluated tomorrow, so we do not yet know the severity of that injury, but likely that he'll undergo some tests, and we'll know some more information at some point in time tomorrow.
Thank you, Meredith. This is Luis Garcia. And that is one hop to the wall and a double for Garcia. Now, Johan Rojas will be hitting for the Phillies.
That's Max McDowell, who's taken over behind the plate for Gary Sanchez. The Yankees have done very little offensively tonight, picking up just 2 hits, both of them by Giancarlo Stanton. Aaron Nola was great, and he went 6 innings for the Phillies, and the Yankee starter Jameson Taillon did a very good job as well, pitching 2 outs into the 3rd.
Years ago, and I mean years ago, after the famous movie and theme song came out, the Phillies had Bobby Wine at shortstop and Cookie Rojas at second. And so the Philly writers called it the days of Wine and Rojas. This is a 2-1.
Well, that makes sense, John, because Cookie doesn't go with wine. You don't really eat cookies with wine. That wouldn't make sense. So Wine and Rojas works.
Give him a 4.
Logan O'Hoppe is on deck for the Phillies to pinch hit for Matt Joyce.
Oh, here's the 2-2. You see Garcia off second, and Rojas pops a foul back. Again, the 2-2. And Lyons strikes out the side. He had a good inning. No runs on a hit. Bottom of the 9th, 4-0 Phillies.
It's time for today's Cadillac Player of the Game, and we took a little bit of a hometown feel on this one, and we gave it to Jameson Taillon, who's had a very good first spring training with the Yankees. Gave up his first run of the spring and 4 spring training starts. Had it all working. Rang up some strikeouts and gave up just 1 run. He left with the bases loaded, but Chad Green got out of further trouble. And Taillon is pitching well, staying healthy, and headed toward the Yankee rotation at the start of the season, which begins on April 1st at the stadium against the Toronto Blue Jays. So last licks coming up for the Yankees as the Phillies lead 4-0. They have a new pitcher, Enyel De Los Santos, will try to get the final 3 outs. Again, the Yankees have picked up just 2 hits and had just 4 base runners. One reached on a fielder's choice, and Stanton was hit by a pitch. So Stanton got on base all 3 times. So let's see if they could get anything going, John, here in the bottom of the 9th.
Now here's Chris Gittens to lead it off. Big right-hand hitter with a lot of power. And there's a strike from De Los Santos. It really was so tough for these players, the young players, who, because of the minor league shutdown last year, didn't play for a year. And that's very tough. You take a year off. Now here's the 0-2. Slider is outside, 1-2.
Well, Gittens has big league power. Doesn't make as much contact as they would like. There's a lot of strikeouts that go with those home runs, but he can hit the ball a long way. Looks like it's raining a little bit in Tampa.
It's raining. You're right. It's not a little bit of rain. Ha-ha. And it was 67 degrees in New York today.
John, I think we need a little delay to tell more stories.
Well, 2-2. Gittens done a good job putting the bat on the ball. He's throwing hard. And he can't get one past him. Now once again the 2-2. Sliders outside, full count. Struck him out, one away.
Well, tomorrow night on Yes, do not miss James Harden and the Brooklyn Nets as they head west for a star-studded showdown with Damian Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers. Coverage starts at 9:30 right here on Yes and streaming on the Yes app. The Brooklyn Nets have won 15 of their last 17 games, and they are a show. Every night, they're a show.
Tommy Malone, outfielder, is the hitter. Mike, I agree with you so much. Every night, they're fun to watch. And what Harden has done for that team, and really for himself, I mean, he is the leader. He controls the ball. He's unselfish from a guy who can score like that. And when Durant finally gets back, along with Kyrie, you can't play any of those guys with one man.
It's kind of extraordinary. They've won 15 of 17 without Durant. And on this trip, they'll be without Kyrie as well, who's going to not make the trip for family issues. So James Harden has been a rock. He plays almost every minute of every game.
Oh, he's really fabulous. And this is, oddly enough, his best year. He has taken control of his team. 0-2 to Malone. The old high hard one again. And there are 2 away. Now here's Trey Ambergay with 2 outs. You know, before the 3rd out is made, and obviously we have to get off the air, I'd like to take one moment. There's a breaking ball strike. To thank Troy Benjamin, the producer, for ushering through this. And obviously to Michael Kay, who turned over the play-by-play in 6 of the innings. There are many others to thank, but thank both of you. It's been great fun.
It has been, John. Let's not wait 20 years to do it again.
I hope not. So De Los Santos needs 1 strike to strike out the side. Well, he'll get the side out. 1, 2, 3. That'll do it. 3 up and 3 down. Philadelphia wins the ball game 4-0.
Well, the Yankees now 13-7-1, and the Phillies even up at 10-10-1. Great start by Aaron Nola, and for the Yankees, Jameson Taillon pitched well as well. 2-run home run by Didi in the 7th. Taillon went 2 outs into the 3rd, 5 hits, just to run his first of the year. No walks and 5 strikeouts. 4-11-0 for the Phils. 0-2-1 for the Yankees. Well, that'll do it from George M. Steinbrenner Field. Special thanks to producer Troy Benjamin, director Dan Barr, Mike Webb, Jared Boschnack, and our executive producer of the Yes Network is Mr. John J. Filippelli. Join us again Wednesday for Yankees baseball as the Yankees take on the Toronto Blue Jays from George M. Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. Coverage begins at 1 p.m. on the Yes Network. Again, the final score, Phillies 4, Yankees nothing. For John Sterling and Meredith Marakovitz, I'm Michael Kay saying see ya. Have a good night, everybody. So long.